games though. That's always fun. Like in researching for this episode, I was watching all as many of the playthroughs as possible.
Quite a few.
Nominees. Yeah, I wasn't actually about to go through all 17 hours of a playthrough, but I was at least getting my toe in the water.
Yeah,
sort of, with the first like hour or so of a playthrough. And yeah, this will be fun. This will be interesting, just because I have a lot to learn. And so because of that, I am essentially going to be the interviewer. All right? I'm not necessarily going to make too many comments, because Mr. Zach will take the lead on that, because there's a lot to talk about.
There is quite a bit that at least I have to get to. It's been a busy week for me with all this, but
yes.
Other than what I've been doing, what have you guys been up to the last week?
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, we're going to get into that soon enough. But yes, for me, well, first of all, when it comes to the actual, if you want to do the little news update for us, I've been really getting into the whole Alien and Predator universe.
Oh, absolutely.
That was, I just find it really interesting, especially the last thing I saw was Alien Covenant. Quite a twist at the end there. It's
what was
I'm trying to recall which installment that was. Was that the
Covenant?
one?
Was
it was 2017?
Yeah, that was when. What was his name? The actor's name? The guy. Michael Fassbender.
Yes.
Has his
twin, basically,
and he just has scenes with himself.
That was excellent.
Interesting.
That was excellent. I was like, whoa, that's disturbing too, because of the David character. That's disturbing. Yeah. Have you seen that or no?
Was this the same installment where is the same actor who voiced Gary in the new Superman movie? Is it
Alan
the same
Tudyk.
actor?
No,
Alan Tudyk?
Alan Tudyk. No,
I don't think Alan Tudyk was in any of the
not at all.
Alien
No,
movies.
he was in one of them.
Oh, really?
He was an android in one of them. Maybe not in Covenant, but
I know he was an android in, I think, one of the Star Wars movies.
Yes, he was definitely cast. But yes, it's the
maybe I have my actor's voice.
No, it's fine.
Could be.
but yes, I gotta say, great twist at the end. It's one of those things where it's like, yes, that makes it a nice Alien movie. And also the other one that I got into is Predator, Killer of Killers. That was surprisingly good. I didn't expect.
Now, what was that one about?
It's the animated sort of anthology. So you have 3 episodes of different stories, different time periods, where the Predator alien would come into Earth and mess around with the Earthlings and try to find the killer of killers amongst the Earthlings, and then in the end they actually bring those Earthlings to the Predator planet to basically be their entertainment of sorts.
Interesting.
So, yes, yeah, that's what I thought too. I'm like, what's going on here? After a few minutes, I'm like, okay. After the 3rd episode, okay, I got it now. They're all the great warriors of Earth now facing the warrior of the Predator planet.
Now, question: is this the same? You mentioned it's animated. Is this the same studio that did Arcane?
You know what? Interestingly enough, I don't know, but the style looks exactly like it. Yeah.
I will admit that animation is going through a kind of a renaissance right now with Disney back in the 90s where they had The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast and all that. I'm really glad that Sony is kind of spearheading the new animation revolution. Sadly, I don't think we're going to be going back to feature length hand drawn quote unquote movies like Beauty and the Beast. But I'm astonished with the animation styles that are coming out today, especially Killer Killers.
Yeah,
I've seen it on
quite an animation because it seems like other studios have picked up on that kind of style as well. So yeah, and of course I've yet to see it, Predator Badlands. So
I heard that one was pretty good. I haven't seen it yet though, but
yeah, from what I hear, yeah. So I've seen a little bit of the teaser for it, the trailer that is, and the highlight of whatever scene that they were able to release. That was cool. And and this will be interesting just because we finally have the Predator being sort of like the protagonist, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of like this monster that you're trying to fight against, that the humans are fighting against, but this time, yeah,
The shift in perspective is always interesting for me.
yeah, exactly.
My last foray into that universe was I watched Alien Earth. Well, I started to watch Alien Earth earlier this year.
I just started watching that too.
boy.
It's very
It's certainly an approach.
yeah.
It's a thing.
It's a thing, yeah. Because I was actually, I'm only the second episode in. I was, I guess I could say a little surprised by where the direction it's going. So
I was a little annoyed that it was a prequel to begin with because like it's supposed to be. It kind of changes a lot of the things for the first Alien movie, but then it could just. Some really interesting approaches to, and I'm trying to be very nice.
The artistic style,
some really interesting creative choices they made.
Is the alien now like? I know that previous iterations, like they had an alien like from a dog, but like this. What's it called? What's the alien species again?
What they call the technical term is the xenomorph.
Xenomorph
is what it's usually called.
like a human xenomorph that acts like a dog.
No,
Is
so
Is that what I'm saying?
it's kind of I think the lore behind it is a little up in the air, but I think it kind of takes on the characteristics of whatever being it was laid into.
Yeah, like the humanoid aspect of it. But yeah, so all that to say, let's get into some gaming in the next segment because there's a lot to talk about, way too much to talk about. But yes, looking forward to it. Hey there, welcome back to NEPA Nerds. Today is the Video Game Awards. We're talking about
Episode.
Yes, today is the Video Game Awards episode, where we're talking video games. We're talking game. Like, Mr. Zach is the man when it comes to video games. And of course, you know your video games as well. Unfortunately, I do not. So I will pretty much act like the interviewer. Well, I am going to be the interviewer. So it's not too different from my day job, which is a camera guy. I go around asking people questions all the time. And did you know in my nearly 20 years of camera experience, nearly 20 years,
Yeah.
I've had nearly 6,000 interviews.
Wow.
Yeah, I estimated about 6,000 interviews. So hopefully some of that skill will transfer over here.
Hopefully you can end your career with over 9,000.
Oh, that'll be great. Yeah, over that.
And I know what you did.
Yuck.
Ah, I'm here all night, folks.
There you go. Yeah. So because I'm sort of ignorant of the gaming world, I'm here to just ask and pick Zach's brain on what's happening with the gaming world, and especially now with the nominees for the Video Game Awards. So please, yes, talk about, like, for example, the first of the main categories, Game of the Year. What is
Well, the
going
Game
on
of the
there?
Year is, of course, going to be like the most discussed category, and a lot of it's not like the Oscars or the Emmys where you're going to have dozens upon dozens of entries. It's a very, there's only so many games that come out in a year, unless we're talking like indie games. And for the big AAA ones, there's only maybe a dozen, 2 dozen that come out in a given year. So you're going to see a bunch of repeats once we start going down the lists of the nominees. But currently, for 2025, the Game of the Year award nominations are Clair Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Those are the big 6 this year. Now, there's certainly others that I thought that I was very surprised were not on there. It seems like across the board they kept their nominees to 6 each. So I'm sure there were some difficult decisions that need to be made. Ghosts of Yotai, I was surprised not to see up there.
Yeah,
Split
me too.
Fiction.
I don't really play video games,
Yeah.
but like Ghost of Yota. What?
It's a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, and it got a
great.
lot of. I don't think that one won Game of the Year either. I could be mistaken.
Yeah.
But that one was incredibly well received, and I know its sequel has been too. I personally, of the 6 that I mentioned, I've only played 4 of them, so I'm going to give my opinions based on what I've seen, what I've heard, and what I've actually played myself.
Nice. Because one of these days I might end up playing
Yes.
it. We'll see.
All right.
I will say, spoiler alert, Clair Obscure Expedition 33 is probably in my top 5 of all time, if not my current favorite game of all time.
Wow, that's crazy.
And
I love the music.
Yes,
We'll get to that too.
We'll get to that
we'll
too. I do know that it currently now holds the record for most nominations for a game at the Game Awards. It has received 12 nominations across, I want to say, maybe 18 categories, about around 20 categories. I don't know the exact number, but it's over half, I would say.
Wow.
But before we get into the big games, I do want to take a step back and look at the independent games.
Okay, so real quick question though, like what makes the difference between the independent game and like a big corporation game?
It's normally it comes down to amount of money, the size of the team, and the publisher.
Okay, all right.
So generally speaking, you're not going to have an indie game that was released by like Activision or EA or Bethesda. Now there are exceptions to that rule. I believe Bob the Diver, I think the game was called, came out a couple years ago, and that was up for indie game, and a lot of people were turning their nose up at it because I think it was
Bob the Diver.
yeah. I mean, some of the bigger studios do take on smaller teams
Okay.
to kind of make certain games. Like, what would be good? I think Atlas at the time was not necessarily an indie studio, but like not as well of a known one. And
Okay.
I believe Sony brought them on to do Demon Souls.
Okay. So there's still that collaboration between indie
Yeah,
companies
there
and
absolutely
big
is.
studios. Okay, got
So
it.
it's basically just like indie games comes down to smaller studios, smaller budgets.
Okay.
And that's for this year we have my big old list: Blueprints, Clair Obscure Expedition
Of
33,
course.
Despelot, I believe, Dispatch,
Ooh,
Dispatch,
I want
which
to
we
talk about
talked
that.
Yep.
and
I wanna talk about that.
Megabonk. Then those are the best debut indie games. So
Okay.
that's the best game, the best first game that an indie studio has released.
Okay.
And then the best indie game itself, those would be Absalom, Ball Pit, Blueprints, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silk Song. 3 of those, which you'll recognize as being on the Game of the Year list. So big year for independent studios.
Yeah, it's wow. Okay.
Now, I obviously have played a few of these, but I do know Julia played Dispatch.
Yes.
Without going into spoilers, what can you tell us about that?
Well, played is kind of a light term. Well,
Loose term.
but I was mainly interested in Dispatch simply because of his casting. Those people who may know me in my personal life, I gush about voice actors like Laura Bailey's in this, and
Aaron Paul, I know, has gotten a lot of credit, whom you might know from Breaking Bad.
That's fine.
Oh wait, isn't he Robbie?
I think he's the main character.
Yeah, Robert Robinson.
I'm not overly familiar with the game, but I do know.
Basically, Dispatch. It's also got a big name YouTube content creator.
Okay.
I want to say he's controversial, but
Yeah, just say.
I mean, he's radical, I guess, in whatever way you take that term. Moist Critical.
Oh, God.
He voices
That guy?
Sonar.
Incidentally, is up for one of the content creators of the year at the Game Awards.
Oh, really? Is?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, good for him. Because like Moist, like
He has a very
such an
distinctive
out-of-pocket
voice.
guy,
If you've heard it, you've heard it. Like, it's one of those if you know things.
right? It's like hearing Bryce Papenbrook in like any anime. It's like you'll double take, and it's like, God, this guy again.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Okay.
Much love, Bryce, if you're watching this.
So real quick, what's Dispatch all about for a guy who doesn't know video games?
Dispatch follows Robert Robertson, who was the third Mecha Man. Sadly, the game starts with a kind of a fall from grace, where his suit gets destroyed and he needs a job. In this universe, a Dispatch, superheroes kind of are like police, where they're dispatched out to certain seasons. Title drop. Dispatched out to certain incidents. Okay. And it follows the Z Team, where it's basically all these former villains or people with criminal history are given a second chance to be superheroes. So there's Sonar, Malevola, Punch Up. He's also voiced by Jacksepticeye, another major voice or YouTuber. There's also Invisigal, Blonde Blazer, Flambe.
Wait, so did you say it was a Mega Man universe?
No, Mecha.
Mecha. I was like,
Mecha,
what?
not Mega.
I thought I heard Mega as well.
No.
Mecha Man user. Oh, okay, I got it. All right.
He had this
I'm like,
mech
I don't
suit.
remember those characters.
Yeah. And the story of it is redemption. And I'm seeing, at least online, from what I see, that not a lot of people are ending up getting the good ending, simply because.
Well, it's broken into chapters.
Yes.
So kind of like a TV show.
Okay.
Or Telltale Games, if anybody out there has heard of those. It was very episodic, structured.
It took a lot of DNA from Telltale Studios. Sadly, I believe they shut down a couple of years ago. But it also incorporated a lot of like mini games. I could tell like from playing The Walking Dead when that first came out, it didn't really offer a lot other than like QTEs. But it's got like little security games and all that. Like it's games within a game.
Side quests? Is that the type of thing? Or?
No, not really side quests. It's not like you can take Robert and like walk around with him. It's very much like Telltale, where
it follows
like
a set path, and then you kind of make decisions while you're on that path that influence the story.
Yeah, from what I saw, developer commentary, or at least developer interviews, it was intended originally to be a show where it was just like one line of a story, but one thing led to another. It became a video game, and it's about redemption. And one of the options, a dialogue that you could have Robert say is that he sees either fear, anger, or potential. And potential really struck a chord with me. It just cause like all these zealous heroes, I guess, still are capable of being heroes.
Okay. Nice.
And during the course of the game, you had the option to either cut or cut either sonar or coupe. She tried to be French, and it comes to bite your behind later. So
Okay. So
and
then,
like
yeah,
your
so-
choices matter.
Yeah, exactly. Like
So-
a lot of these video games do tend to
Right.
focus on like what choice you make and creates
Yeah.
the conclusion that like sometimes like we're Zach, you and I were talking about what you call it, Expedition 33 and it's crazy how there's a tendency for even
The conversations that can come from any type of decisions based in games is I think one of the strongest points of the medium is the ability to kind of make you think about ideas and put you in situations that you normally wouldn't be in our regular life.
exactly.
And stuff like that can come all down to direction, which is another one of the categories for this year's awards. And for Best Direction, we have Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yotai, Hades 2, and
at
Split
least it's
Fiction.
in there,
All
yeah.
games that I've said already.
Yeah.
With,
Of note of those is Hideo Kojima for his direction of Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, who I feel like I wouldn't be alone in describing as like the David Lynch of video games.
Yeah, from what I've seen of
He has a very
I've seen of the because I did go through a playthrough, and yes, I am I was intrigued at least to say
He
I
has
was like, wow, this is weird, but at the same time too, I'm like, okay, you got my interest, all right, let's go through this.
it's a very unique way that he tells his stories, and having
like
played
Lynch.
many of his games in the past, it's very. If he thinks that you could possibly see where one of his stories is going, he's going to throw you a curveball and have it go off in a completely different direction. Whether it's somebody called Vamp who is impervious to bullets and it's explained away by nanomachines, or having babies inside you, like is the case with Death Stranding 2, which does sort of kind of get explained in a very weird way.
Yeah.
Like his direction and storytelling is not for everybody. But if you're into weird things, like if you're a fan of David Lynch, I think that any Hideo Kojima game would be right up your alley.
Would his kind of direction style be similar to M. Night Shyamalan with movie direction and storytelling?
No, he doesn't.
Not like
He doesn't build up to like big twists as much as Shyamalan does. It's more. God, I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's
your expectations are what do you call that?
constantly just
Yeah.
pushed all over the place.
Yeah,
Like,
defying expectations,
Yeah.
Exactly.
delivering a surreal story.
yes.
Yes. Thank you, David Lynch. Yes.
Yes. One of the other categories that I did want to make a special mention of is best score in music, because this, ladies and gentlemen, has been a banger year for music and video games. As I was getting the clips ready for our discussion today, I had Clair Obscur Expedition 33's video up, and our awesome producer Joe, who sits behind me at our desk, was listening to it and turned around and was like, "What you got going on there?" And I mean, you seem to enjoy it, I would think.
Oh, hello, it's me from the void. Yeah, so it caught my ear, like, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. And it was just like the trailer. And then I can't imagine what the music, when it actually feels like when you're going through parts of the game. And it just and you had me listen to one of the other songs too. It was just so action packed, and it was, as you called it, a banger. But I can now imagine that composer, his abilities and their abilities, the singer, her voice was amazing, and putting that in context to a situation, because I listened to it and I was floored and I didn't even have context.
Yeah, he was found. It was Lorien Testard, and he was found on SoundCloud. Like this is his first, professional work.
When I found that out, I'm like,
And
what?
the
Really?
soundtrack is over 150 songs for one
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
each track is just you can tell that he put all of his effort into this. Like there are no cut corners. It is just banger after banger, for lack of a better term.
When I first heard it, I thought, I was like, hey, this sounds like a very experienced composer.
I mean, you go from operatic duets to you're at the rave, and then action packed combat music. It's just it. I would buy this on vinyl,
Ooh.
and they do have it on vinyl.
Oh, they do? Oh,
Yes.
wow. Okay.
But I don't want to talk too much about Clair Obscur because I am going to talk about that at length in the next segment.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about best narrative, which is best story. And in that we have Clair Obscur again, Death Stranding again, Ghost of Yotai again, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Silent Hill F. The one I wanted to make special mention of for this one was Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, mainly because the attention to detail. It's a historical fiction game that is based on true events. It's
Is it Assassin's Creed level?
no. It
Okay.
is.
What time period?
This I don't remember
Oh,
off the top of my head. It's like medieval times.
Yeah,
it's
it
like
looks like medieval. Okay.
Knights in shining armor.
yeah. It's I haven't been able to play too much of this one yet. I'm only a couple hours in, but it's definitely around obviously medieval times
Yeah, that
in
always
Europe.
impresses me. Like
It's-
the level of animation.
Yeah,
great.
it's incredible. It's I would call it the Red Dead Redemption 2 but medieval times
okay.
because it is so like the details are there. When you're making potions, you're not just combining this, combining that, and then poof potion. You're grinding up the seeds.
Okay.
You're pouring it into a base, and you're boiling the water. You're doing all of that. The compendium has all sorts of accurate lore, or not lore, but like information about like you need to wear this before you put on your plate mail, and you
Gotcha.
need to have this kind of headgear on before you can put on this.
So it's
and-
close to realistic as possible.
Oh yeah, like
That's great.
if you're going to start fighting 2-3 guys, you're going to lose most likely. It's very realistic combat.
Yeah, nice.
And while also the graphics, by the way, are just simply
Yeah, it looks
in
amazing.
this.
They do look good.
And for that, it's got my pick for best narrative if Clair Expedition doesn't win.
Now, is this a VR title?
No, it's just first person, which
Oh,
normally
okay.
doesn't work too well when you have a melee focused game, having that first person perspective. I usually like to have third person, but oddly enough, it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Man, talking about all these games, I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's-
I actually am curious to.
I did want to mention
Wait.
real quick the best ongoing game, which usually is full of. I mean, Fortnite's a staple. Fortnite's never going anywhere. It's
Oh, of
just
course.
always around. Final Fantasy 14, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and No Man's Sky. I could also dedicate an entire episode to No Man's Sky.
Oh, really?
But because just
That much?
the turnaround that game had is incredible.
Okay.
But Julia, you are an experienced Helldiver.
Yes, I was there for Malevelon Creek when I earned my stripes, and we've had a lot happen this year. The Meridian Hole destroying some planets, the Illuminate attacking not only Super Earth designated planets, but also Super Earth itself. Which brought about a collaboration with Microsoft Studios for an ODST collab. So like, hell divers feet first. As a Halo fan, I was very excited about that.
Yeah, they do
And-
seem to really appreciate their community, and
Absolutely.
I played it myself. It's a great game, but there's certainly so much more that we have to talk about in terms of these games, and just like the Star Wars conversation last week, there's not enough time to get to it all. But I will talk about the Games of the Year nominees at length right after this.
Howdy, welcome back to NEPA Nerds. I'm Julia, this is Elle and Zach, and we're going to be talking about the nominees that are slated for the 2025 season. And Zach is kind of bursting at the seams, excited to speak on this. I don't think I've seen you excited like this yet.
It's been a baller year for gaming. Like, I didn't think we were going to see another year like we had 2 years ago when Baldur's Gate 3 came out. Alan Wake 2, a bunch of other games. Like, that was a really great year for games. And then last year had Black Myth Wukong, and that's about it.
Yeah.
This year, though, has some really... It's going to be a real tight race. As I said, I think at the beginning of the show, my overall game of the year is by far Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
And that was the one that got 12 other nominations, right?
Yes, it holds the record right now for most nominations at the Game Awards. Well deserved, I think. I don't think it's going to win all of them, only because I feel like the judges would be hesitant to give out that many awards to one game. Especially, like, you're not going to see, you generally aren't going to see a game win best of categories when it's going to win like the grand prize. So I don't think it's going to win best indie game. I think that will most likely go to another game on this list, which is Hollow Knight Silksong, which I'll get into later. But with Clair Obscur, it's succeeds on almost every level, from a voice acting and performance perspective. The game also has, of the 6 slots for best performance in a video game, there are 6. Clair Obscur has 3 of those slots. You have where's my list? You have Ben Starr, who recently won for his performance in Final Fantasy 16. Jennifer English, who I think was nominated for Elden Ring, as well as Baldur's Gate 3 as well. She's a fairly frequent flyer at the Game Awards. And also a surprise mention is Charlie Cox.
Yeah, when I found that, I was like, wow, okay, all right, you got my interest.
Nippy.
I mean, even before Charlie Cox, I was like, okay, this game, it got my interest because it looks beautiful. And yes, as you mentioned before, the songs, the music was amazing. And so like when of course that the cherry on top was Charlie Cox. I'm like, wow, this is great that we have a big name actor in this.
Actually, there's 2.
There's 2. Yeah, that's right.
It's just Charlie Cox was the one that was nominated, but also Andy Serkis, who
Andy
you
Serkis.
might know as Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
The man needs no introduction.
And everybody in the game just gives an amazing performance. And while performances aren't just so much voice acting as they are actual physical performances, there's a lot of motion capture that goes into games these days. And Clair Obscur is no exception to that. And while Charlie Cox did not do the mocap for his performances, his vocal performances are just outstanding. Like, everybody just absolutely brought their A game for Clair Obscur.
Would you say that, like, the level of acting in terms of performances, like, I hold God of War Ragnarok pretty highly. Would you say that it's like about the same level, if not higher?
Compared to God of War?
God of War Ragnarok, or if not the first title.
I mean, it's hard to compare 2 different performances in 2 different games that are thematically so different. I mean, God of War 2016 is the story about forgiving yourself and growing up, and Clair Obscur is very much a story about dealing with grief and how to move on from tragedy. And performances will be reflected in those themes. So I can't say, certainly I can't remember the actor's name, but he did an amazing job and certainly deserved his win. Who he also won for best performance as Kratos. Just absolutely phenomenal. It's the only game, I got it earlier this year when it came out on Game Pass. And if you don't know, Game Pass is basically like Netflix for video games. You pay, it's recently increased to,
I was about to ask that question.
Yeah, it's recently increased to about, I think, $20 a month.
I think wasn't it Game Pass that had like a 50% increase earlier this
Yes.
year or something?
But the game was available on that, so I played it originally on that, thinking, oh, this is just going to be some rinky-dink indie JRPG that's trying too hard and it's got some weird sci-fi concept. I don't know. They're jumping through the air. It's going to be nonsense. And then it tore my soul apart and slowly pieced it back together.
Wow.
And I ended up buying the game again. Okay. Well, not again, but I ended up, after I beat it, 100%ed it on Game Pass, got it on Steam.
Aww.
Okay. All right.
So it's that good that I will literally play it twice in 1 year.
Oh, nice.
It is just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. And what's the average, would you say, like, runtime from, like, start to finish? Like 40 hours?
Depends on the kind of gamer you are. I am very much a completionist, so I like to see all the extra content. I like to do all of the bonus bosses. So I don't want to say how many hours I put into it, but it was quite a bit. I would say if you were playing just like to go through the story at like a casual pace, I would say 30, 40 hours.
Yeah, that's about right.
Which for a game like that is pretty, is on the lower side.
Right.
Yeah.
Because watching the playthrough, because, you know, I don't play the video games, but yeah, watching the playthrough, that was pretty long. It was like, and it was edited too, so it was like an 18-hour.
Yeah, and like you said, like those will be edited down to be just like the main path and stuff. But there's so much extra to do. There's like things to find and like little tidbits of dialogue to pick up on.
And like an hour and a half into it, I was like, okay, this is gonna take a while, so I'm gonna have to watch a 15-minute summary of this.
Yeah.
It's probably
What
the
to
best,
know.
especially if you know you're not gonna play. There's so much going on in the game. It's I feel in my years of experience playing things that I probably should have stopped playing years ago. I feel like it'll be seen 10 years from now how Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy X are seen today. I think it'll be held up there with the greatest games of all time.
Okay.
And I honestly believe that. So for my number 2 pick for Game of the Year would be one I've already talked about a little bit, Death Stranding 2. Just the pure cinematic quality of it. The performances are also up there with Claire Obscure in terms of people. And you've got some amazing actors. Troy Baker is well known to anybody who plays video games. He was the voice of in The Last of Us, Joel.
Okay. Yeah,
He's
that's right.
the voice of Joel in The Last of Us. But he's done if you played a game in the last 5 years, you've heard Troy Baker's voice. It annoys me to the point where I'll start playing a game and I'll just hear his voice. It's like, oh, that's Troy Baker. He's in this game too.
Yeah.
He's like the D. Bradley Baker of the gaming sphere, I imagine, right?
I don't know who that is.
We talked about him in our first episode.
He's basically
Like
a voice actor that does everything.
Oh, in anime.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, not knowing who that is, yes. It's one that people who are familiar with the games and the medium will know who Troy Baker is.
Yeah.
Although Norman Reedus
Is also
game, but
was not nominated, but he and Kojima go way back.
Okay.
They were going to make a game called Silent Hills, which if this wasn't an expensive mic, I'd pour one out for.
Right.
But he was going to make the next, well, at the time, the next Silent Hill game, and they released a game called PT, which literally stood for Playable Trailer. And then there was a falling out between Kojima and Konami Studios, who owns the Silent Hill IP, and the game was never made.
Yeah.
And it is one of the greatest tragedies in gaming, but I'm not going to get into that now. What I am going to get into is Hollow Knight Silk Song.
We'll have to talk about PT another time
Yes.
because there's quite some history, not only in the development, but also in just the gameplay itself. So,
Yes. But one of the other titles for Game of the Year contention is Hollow Knight Silk Song. This was released by Team Cherry after I don't remember exactly how long the development cycle was, but it was quite extensive. Its fans are deeply passionate about this game, and having played it myself,
Is it a scrolling game?
it is.
yeah.
It's
Side scroll.
That's a little bit more up my alley.
It is a
So
Metroidvania,
that's great.
and it's a little bit smoother than the video I obtained. It's very hard
Oh,
really?
It is
Oh,
very, very difficult.
really?
Even for someone like me who loves all of the Soulsborne games, this one broke me a few times.
Oh,
I
wow.
got about halfway into it until I stopped. Again, this was something on Game Pass that I probably would not have played otherwise. It's
Looks cool.
it is.
Yeah.
It's got a phenomenal soundtrack. The art style is incredible.
Very animated.
It's oh yeah, absolutely.
Is its difficulty purely in the mechanics, or is it like old school, like easy, medium, hard?
What do you mean?
How some
There's
games
no
like
there's no difficulty selection. It's
oh,
just,
okay.
It's just a hard game.
Purely,
It's just a hard game.
purely mechanics.
It is
okay.
one that will beat you up and
Spit you out.
and spit you out and just tell you to get better.
Yeah.
Man, really?
Get good,
it
as
is-
the kids say.
I would say probably one of the ultimate get good scrub games.
Really? Okay.
And honestly, I think it is to its detriment. That,
really?
that in terms of its chances at the Game Awards, I
Yeah.
think it is
I
good.
see.
The story, from what I've read, is still good. I wouldn't say it's not as obvious as Claire Obscure, or I mean, not that Death Stranding 2 is obvious. It's weird, but it's not as prevalent. It's you're picking up on little pieces in Hollow Knight.
Subliminal, you could say, or like a lot of subtext.
Sort of. It's just it doesn't give you a lot to go off of up front. It's kind of like a Souls game where you're picking up on tidbits here and there from conversations from this, that, and the other person, and kind of piecing it together yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next one is a Nintendo IP, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Now, I don't have a Switch, full disclosure, so I have not played this one. But this is another one that I've heard nothing but great things about.
Yeah, I'm a Nintendo fan, so like this is looking good for me. So.
It's Vivian, who was on the show last week with us, was saying how she's big into Donkey Kong. While she hasn't played this one yet either, she is going to probably get it sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Yeah.
But everything that I've been hearing says nothing but great things about this. And, obviously Nintendo is a proven entity. They don't put out bad games,
Nah.
generally speaking.
This
But
looks
I would
fun,
say
Yeah.
They have very high commitment to quality, and it's reflected in Donkey Kong Bonanza. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 obviously is another one that I mentioned before. I'm not going to talk about it too much. The combat, the graphics, the voice acting isn't as good, I don't personally think. There's a few standout performances, but as a whole, it's serviceable. It's decent. Okay. Some of the non-player characters, enemies, and stuff have kind of like clumsy lines, line deliveries, and the game itself can be kind of janky sometimes, like a little buggy. Like I saw some guy who I believe was supposed to be riding a horse, but the horse was not there, so you just see him
That's hilarious.
just in the air, just going through town.
Yeah.
And
like,
so
Monty Python horse.
yes, sans the coconuts,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Add your own sounds at home.
Yep. So real quick, Kingdom Come, what's that about though?
So I didn't play the first one, which I kind of think I need to do now. This is another one where I've only put a few hours into it, but is one I'm certainly going to keep playing. You are sent to deliver a message to a neighboring territory to seek an alliance with them. And on the way, you are kind of waylaid by bandits, and your entire party is killed, with the exception of you and your friend. I'm not remembering any of these names, and that's going to bite me in the butt. But he is of noble lineage to the area that you come from.
Okay.
So he and you have a falling out. And he's like, I'm going to go and get this done my own way, because nobody... You're basically stranded in this allied territory, or this territory that you want to be allies with, and nobody believes that two people who are all dirty and rugged looking that they're of noble birth. So they need to find other ways to accomplish their goals.
Right.
It's just the attention to detail is what I think put this game in the front in the limelight, because it is so. deliberate in its approach to everything.
All right.
Like you're not just swinging a sword, you are angling the attack. Are you thrusting? Or you need to position the sword to block properly.
Okay.
You have different weapons.
That level of detail.
Oh yeah,
Okay, great.
it's you're not pirouetting through the air and delivering a backstab at double the speed and throwing a knife in between somebody's visor. Like none of that's happening. So if like you're looking for something a little more actiony and cinematic, maybe Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is not for you. Okay. But if you're looking for something that really kind of wants to put you into that medieval life, that atmosphere, then definitely give it a shot.
It's more grounded than other titles, I imagine. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is kind of the opposite of the next contender that we were hoping to speak about. Hades 2. Another long-awaited sequel from the awesome people at Supergiant Games. The first Hades was a roguelike top-down action game where you are the son of Hades and you are trying to basically talk to your mom. You're basically trying to escape the underworld and get up to the surface and talk to. I think it is Persephone. I mean, remembering names is not great. And now this one follows Nordic influence. Yes.
Oh wait, so it crosses mythology.
The pantheon is still there. This is another one that I haven't played yet.
That was cool.
But I do know that. So I believe it actually has a 93% right now in terms of review score.
Ooh.
If it's anything like the first one, which from what I've seen, it is basically just the first game, but with all the gameplay mechanics just polished to a mirror sheen. It's still got an amazing voice cast. The art style is phenomenal.
Wait, real quick, is this how it's played? Like, is this, or is this?
So this is a cutscene.
Okay,
this is a cutscene.
I was just wondering, like, is the actual like?
No, I mean it's the art style is this.
Okay, yeah,
it'll get into some gameplay in a few seconds.
It's very nice.
But it is a top-down, sort of like Diablo. If you ever played that, like a top-down action.
Okay, here's some gameplay there.
Okay, got it.
So
like,
nice. At least in the first game, you would pick a weapon at the beginning of a run, and then as you cleared areas, you would gain passive abilities and powers, and that would help you reach higher and higher. And death is just a part of the game. You would get so high or so far in the game, then you would die, come back, but you would learn things along the way, and you would also there's different types of currency that you would collect, and you'd be able to unlock new weapons or abilities, and to help you get even further the next time.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Would this kind of game be played in one of those game tournaments, like the? I don't know. I normally see.
Generally not. I mean, they'll have speed run tournaments for games like this. I'm not overly into the competitive scene too much.
Okay.
It doesn't appear like it has like an online PvP type
at least
mode
to my
or
knowledge,
anything.
there's no online component to it. But not every game needs to have online components. And
it looks great.
None of the ones that are on the Game of the Year list have it.
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't think. I mean, Death Stranding 2 technically sort of kind of does, but no, none of the others.
Does Death Stranding 2 have similar mechanics to the first one, where like frequently traveled paths like end up being reflected? In gameplay?
Yeah, kind of like how Soulsborne games will have like blood stains, and like you'll see that other players have been there. It's the same kind of thing in Death Stranding 2, where you'll have like structures and things that are left behind by other characters. It's definitely a sense of being connected, which is what Death Stranding 2 is kind of about. Is should we have connected? Should we be brought together?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Those are my breakdowns of the Game of the Year nominees. As I said before, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is my overall victor amongst the vast majority of these categories. If Claire Obscure doesn't win it, honestly, I would be surprised if Death Stranding 2 doesn't. But I mean, last year Astrobot won, so I mean, I could definitely see a game like Donkey Kong Bonanza taking it. So I mean, it's like I said, it's a very tight race. All of these games are fantastic. So we'll just have to see. But for now, we'll have to take a quick break and come right back.
Absolutely.
Hello and welcome back to NEPA Nerds. We are ending our show concerning the Game Awards, and it's been quite a productive talk because I learned a lot, and I didn't know many of these categories and many of these games, and now I'm actually like really looking forward to maybe even borrowing a console and playing some of these games. Yeah. So
But
like,
you're certainly always welcome to borrow mine if you want.
nice, excellent. So nominations. What do we think? What do we think?
Very quickly, I'm going to trust Zach's judgment. I believe that he's going to be nominating Claire Obscure. I'm going to be trusting his judgment with that. But mainly, I'm going to be keeping an eye on debut title or debut indie with Dispatch. That's my nomination. An ongoing game, like I said before, with Helldivers 2. Those are going to be my nominations. Everything else, I'm not too knowledgeable to give a proper nomination. But based on the convo that we had today, what do you think?
So far, I mean, just the idea of like that of Claire Obscura being the thing. Like once again, yes, I do.
Yeah, I hope I
acknowledge
didn't hype
your-
it up too much.
Yeah, I know, right? I acknowledge your judgment just because it's beautifully done and so cinematic. That's what I love about it. It's wonderfully cinematic because I'm the movie buff. So yeah, and for you, of course.
I mean, Claire Obscure all the way. Like I said, barring some
3-0.
exceptions, I think I do want to give a special shout out to Blueprints, which is a puzzle game that came out earlier this year. I didn't talk about it at all, but it is, I think, especially worth noting because it is such a unique game that obviously I'm not gonna have time to talk about right now. But
It didn't get
if it
any-
does win Best Debut Indie Game, I would not be upset.
Oh, it's in the nominees, right? Oh, good to hear.
Yeah, and for me, when it comes to video games, one of the reasons why I avoid it is because I have an addictive personality, and I have a tendency to just get into whatever play that I have, like whatever game I'm into. It's just I'm not gonna stop until it's just I'm just not gonna stop.
That is valid.
Yeah. Next thing you know, 12 hours pass by. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and so this has been quite an eye-opening talk here because I do have a lot to learn, and I am looking forward to playing some of these games. This is gonna be great.
And I'll be, sure to update you guys on when who wins what.
Yeah.
The Game Awards are on December 11th. Sorry, Thursday, December 11th. You'll be able to watch that. Basically, any of your major gaming sites. It'll be broadcast on YouTube, which is where I'll probably be watching it. Yeah, it's not hard to track down.
Excellent. That's
Absolutely.
great. So for Zach, Julia, and I, it's been a great talk about video games. And till next time, this is at the 2822 Now Streaming Center. And it would be great to see you next time.